What's going on, guys? It's been a while since I've posted a video on here before. If you've seen some of my other videos, you kind of probably have a general idea of what this channel is about. Deal with car stuff, Subaru stuff, and I wanted to start getting back into it again. Start getting back into filming. I've been working on the cars here and there, doing some stuff, but lastly, my main videos that you've seen the last ones I posted were probably of the motor back here that I was working on, and then maybe like some driving videos and whatnot, and some upgrades of the car. So really, this video I just kind of wanted to do as a little bit of an update, basically saying that I'm back. I do want to get back into making more YouTube videos again. Some of the videos might start off a little rough. A really good buddy of mine let me borrow a pretty nice camera that I'm trying to get used to using and learn how to use it a little bit better and whatnot. So like I said, they might start off a little rough, but as time goes on, keep learning stuff, maybe upgrade some equipment and whatnot, and just really get back into making videos. And there's a reason behind it. So I want to document kind of what I've been doing, what I've been up to. I've been really busy the past year. We are, of course, in 2022 right now. This is February of 2022. Last year, I had a lot of changes with my life, and I'll kind of show you that here in a bit. A couple of those changes are that I did start a new business. I recently just started another new business, and just trying to get out into the world and promote myself. And on top of that, I want to try to see if I can get other people to inspire them to do stuff that they want to do as far as vehicle stuff, business stuff. And by no means am I the best mechanic in the world, or anything to do with vehicles, but I try. I learn on my own vehicles, and I do offer services for other people's vehicles as well, which we'll get into here in a bit. So I do the best I can. You've always got to adapt to new situations that might come up in your life, and that's all you can do to do best for yourself and for your family. And that's what I'm trying to do. So I'm hoping to, again, promote myself, promote my businesses, but then also reach out to those people that do like my channel and want to view my channel and see what I'm doing, and hopefully inspire you and others to just get out there and do it yourself as well. So I kind of want to do some tutorials, maybe show you some products that I use, explain why I use them, of course, possibly even get into like some tool reviews and whatnot as I start getting new tools, better quality tools. I do use a lot of Harbor Freight stuff right now, and not knocking on Harbor Freight whatsoever, but as time goes on, I'm starting to learn that there are reasons why you might want some better tools and just to fork out a little bit more money for some better stuff. And again, we'll get to all of that. So in this video here, just kind of want to do a little update you on the cars, on both the WRX and the Forester XT. Just if you've never seen the channel, welcome. My name is Tyler, aka WRX and Ty on YouTube and on Instagram, and I recently just started a TikTok. Don't ask me why, but I did. So if you want to go check that out as well, by all means feel free to. But yeah, so let's just jump into this here real quick. Alright, so first things first, motor build. Here is the short block. No, this is not, hasn't been built, really hasn't been touched, and I want to say probably about 8 months to a year or so I haven't touched it. So this is where she sits right now. Still has the original pistons in the block, but we're getting there. It's starting to warm up out here in the Pacific Northwest a little bit more, so I can come out into my lovely work shed here. That's kind of messy right now, but again, it's a work in progress. Everything's a work in progress. But yeah, so here's the short block. We need to continue pulling this guy apart to see what actually failed in the block. If you haven't seen any of my other recent videos or anything like that, basically we lost compression in this motor. We didn't fully lose it 100%, but we lost enough of it to where I was getting a huge amount of oil buildup within the turbo and in the header, and it was just smoking like crazy. And thought at first that it could have been a bad turbo, but turns out that we're pretty sure that it's due to ringland failure. So I just have to continue pulling that apart to really get in there and see what might have caused that problem. Again, if you've never seen any of my videos, go check them out. You can see that I did take the car actually to Josh Bader and had him install some goodies on the car on top of with a new used long block that had about 30,000 miles on it roughly. And from the car's been running great. I've got no complaints, and we'll kind of go over that stuff here in a bit. But there's a little bit of a motor update for you. As you can see over here, we've got heads. So the heads are going to definitely get fully rebuilt. I've kind of been planning on what I want to do with those. And then we've got the rest of the parts up there. The stock header, stock OEM turbo that was on it just kind of sitting there, and some other bits and pieces and whatnot. So that's my update there with the motor build. It is still a work in progress. It's not cheap. That's one thing that I will say, that getting into cars and whatnot, no, it's definitely not cheap, and I've got other things that do take priority over it, unfortunately. But it's life, and it is what it is. You got to do what you got to do. So, trying to figure out as far as what I want to do with this short block over here. I don't want to go super all out crazy. My plans for the car is I'd like to hit right around 500 wheel horsepower. That's the goal. And I know the words Subaru and reliable don't go hand in hand together, but that's what I would like. I would like a 500 wheel horsepower, fairly reliable Subaru. And with that being said, I'd like to build this thing as much as myself as I can. Obviously I don't have the CNC machinery to be able to deck the heads. There are tools and equipment that I will have to go out and buy as well, such as specific measuring tools and whatnot that I don't currently have right now, so that's another added expense. But even just like rods, pistons, bearings, head gaskets, head studs, like all that little stuff, it adds up really freaking quick. And I've done the math multiple different ways, multiple different options, and I would say it's probably would be cheaper to go out and buy like an IAG short block or an Outfront Motorsport short block or Bader built short block or anything like that. But what's the fun in that? I want to learn, and I want to show you guys as well the process of what I'm going through to rebuild this motor myself in literally a small shed. This is nothing huge or nothing crazy. I don't have an enclosed garage, but I've got a decent sized workspace in here, so it's enough for me to work with. And and we're going to figure it out. We're going to get there eventually. Again, like I said, it's going to take some time. It's not going to happen overnight, but we're going to figure it out, and we're going to have fun doing it. And I'm going to try to document all of it as well. All right? Now, let's move on to the business stuff that's been going on. So with the intro, if you watched it all the way through, you might be able to tell kind of what I've been up to, some of it at least. And so I want to just go over that a little bit more. And again, yes, this is to help promote my own business and get it out there into the world a little bit more. But at the same time, inspire you guys to maybe work on your own cars or start your own business as well. So long story short, last year, I want to say like maybe midsummer or so, I really wanted to polish my car. It's never been polished before, paint corrected, anything like that. And of course, being a car person and being into cars and whatnot, you always want to keep your cars clean. And going to a drive-through car wash or even one of those self car washes, it's not the best for your car whatsoever. It's actually really, really bad for your paint. And it's an investment, you know, like it's a $30,000 plus investment out there, and then some, of course, that's out there. And I want it to stay protected. I want it to stay safe. And so I figured, you know what, I'm just going to go out and get the stuff so I can learn how to do it myself and keep my car clean at home. And then when that happened, you know, I got the bright idea, why not do this for other people? There's multiple auto detailers, yes, out there in the world. Here where I live, specifically in Yakima, Washington, there are other auto detailers out there as well. But again, there's multiple entities where you can go and purchase products and whatnot. And at the end of the day, I do feel like a lot of it, yes, it comes down to price, but at the same time, it comes down to the customer service. You know, what kind of experience are you having as a customer coming and bringing my car or your car to me versus taking your car to somebody else? And I am a very small, I own and operate the business fully myself. I do have a full-time job. Essentially, the business is auto detailing. So Hanson's Auto Detail is the name of my business. Check it out online. I will make sure I put the link down low. I do have a website and whatnot of all of the services and packages that I currently offer. Just revamped it a bit for this year as well. So now that the snow is finally starting to melt out here in the Pacific Northwest, we're starting to get nice warm weather outside. I'm hoping to get some business rolling in, and I have had people, you know, reach out to me, message me and whatnot, but the weather has just been really shoddy, and you know, people really don't want their vehicles detailed during the winter time when there's snow on the ground. It's super dusty out there, you know, for a little while after the snow melts and stuff like that. So it's an investment to get your vehicle professionally detailed. It's not cheap, but once it gets done, and if it gets done correctly the first time, from there on out, washing the car is a heck of a lot easier. I will guarantee you that. So again, Hanson's Auto Detail is one of the businesses that I've started last year. Had a very, very successful year last year. I was very happy. We do drop-offs, and we do mobile auto detailing as well. And believe it or not, I actually do mobile detailing out of the WRX and sometimes the Forester as well, just depending on what I got going on. So real quick, I just kind of want to run you through some of the stuff that I have for that, maybe more so on the mobile side, but really everything that you use mobily, I use at home as well. You know, there's some stuff that at home that I can't take with me, like an air compressor, but we'll get into that. All right, so let's go take a look at some of that stuff. So the first thing I'll show you guys over here is my water tank. This is a 65-gallon water tank. Yeah, it is. And believe it or not, this water tank fits in the back seat with the seats down. I try not to fill it up all the way because that's a lot of weight in the car, but it does fit and it does work. And you know, if I can remember, I'll try to go ahead and throw a picture in here of what the car looks like fully loaded with all my detailing equipment and the water tank in there. And it's a pretty legit setup, I'm not gonna lie. When I take this to details, literally all I need from customers is a power source, and that's it. So it definitely does help a lot. Again, I've made some changes to the car, and the water tank with weight in it, it's a little iffy there because of all the weight and whatnot. But I'm sure I'll give it a try at some point. this summer, this spring, summer, fall, and see how that works. So that's that. Over here, got a nice vacuum cleaner, just a nice little rigid shop vac, and it's small, it's compact, it does the job. I did also, when I purchased this, I also purchased, you'll see the orange hose here. That is the rigid auto detailing hose kit. So it comes with some attachments, a little bit of a narrower hose. And this hose is nice because the ribs do not catch on the, like on door seals or anything like that. So that does help, and it's a little bit longer as well. So that's that. I do have a pressure washer over here as well. And as you can see, that bin, it's not a very big tub. Let's see here if it says on the side. It's a 12-gallon tote, so nothing super crazy. And I'll go ahead and carefully pop this open here so I don't drop all these tools on the floor. If I can. Set the camera down. It'll probably be easier. Alright, so here's my pressure washer. Again, nothing crazy, nothing super pressing. It's a Ryobi 1600 PSI 1.2 gallon per minute pressure washer. And when you're buying a pressure washer, that's really something that you want to look for is what's your water source, how much do you have to conserve water. Whereas when I do mobile details, I do need to conserve water. So that pressure washer works extremely well. It's only like $100, and I got the warranty on it. So if it ever goes, just go get a new one. No big deal. It does come with a hose and a wand, but I'm not a huge fan of those long wands, especially when you're using a foam cannon. And then the hose that it comes with is horrible. I hate the hoses that pressure washers come with. So I did also go ahead and pick up a 50-foot Flexzilla pressure washer hose. And then this is just a sprayer that I got on Amazon in a package with a cheap foam cannon, which I don't use anymore. But the pressure washer gun works perfectly fine. And I recently also just bought some new tips as well. So you've got different tips with different spray angles and whatnot that will kind of help you, again, conserve water, get into better areas, cover more area, and all of that. So moving on to some product. And again, this is just a quick, little run through of what I've been doing. All that. This is nothing super pressing. When we start making some other videos, we'll get into some more detail about stuff that I use and whatnot. So here's some product just sitting on my cart. I've kind of been trying to clean, organize a little bit more in here. I do use some Shine Supply products. This stuff works really well. I'm very happy with it. Works great. Again, we'll get into more stuff of that later. Some Chemical Guys products. I don't use very much Chemical Guys products, to be honest with you, because again, I feel personally that Chemical Guys is a good company. Again, I have no problem with them. They make good product. The product's reasonably priced and all that stuff. But I do feel like a lot of it is the same stuff, just different color and rebranded, and maybe a very minor different mixture of solution or something. So again, doing this for roughly about a year-ish or so, I've come to a conclusion of what I like to use and what I don't like to use, and that's just me. That's personal preference. And I will get into more product reviews and product details as time goes on as well. So let's get back over here. So one of my absolute favorite products that I use is Bead Maker from P&S Auto Detailing Solutions. So that stuff works great. I love it. I just ordered a gallon of it. That's in the house. So that's something good too that we'll get into. This is my IK foam sprayer. So this I fill with my wheel tire cleaning solution, which I've got a gallon of it as well. And for my wheel tire cleaning solution, I also use a product from P&S called Brake Buster. It acts like an acidic wheel cleaner, but with no acid in it. So you can use it on anything: wheels, tires, chrome, wrapped, plasti dipped, whatever. You can use it on it, and it works great. And so like this again is another bottle of that Brake Buster right there. This is just a concentrated solution. What's nice about this is that I can put some in there and I can dilute it down with water, and it saves you product in the long run. So just a few other little things here. You'll see Chemical Guys Snow Foam. This is the Honeydew wash, which it smells really good. It foams really good, I will say. So So we've got some polishes and paint correction stuff over there. This is actually what I first started with, was the Meguiar, just mirror glaze, nothing fancy. I've got some Max Shine stuff in there. I've also got some Suds Box stuff in there, which you might, if you're on Instagram and you follow auto detailing stuff, you might see Suds Box stuff pop up on your feed a lot. And again, it's something that I'll get into in another video. We've got some water spot remover stuff, some ceramic sealants, some waxes, clay bars, leather conditioner, some tire shine. So you'll see like a lot of Griot's Garage stuff in here, Max Shine, a little bit of Chemical Guys, P&S Auto Detailing, and then also some Jax Wax stuff as well. So I've also tried some Jax Wax stuff out too. It works great. So no complaints. And then just some other little odds and ends up there. We'll come over here to this bag. This is my Griot's Garage polishers. I've got two of them. I've got a 6-inch and a 3-inch, and they work great. And in another video, we'll get more into those as well. And then down below that, I actually have a Rupes Hybrid Nano. So this thing is pretty sweet. It's really tiny. I could put 2-inch wheels on there, 2-inch pads, and then I can also do 3-inch pads if I want to, and sanding discs for headlight restoration. It's a really useful tool. I got it from my cousin. Shout out Charlie. I really appreciate you. And he sold it to me at a really good price, and I've used it a lot. I've gotten my use out of it. So if you look up there up top, you'll see another polisher, and that's actually again what I started with. It's just a Bauer polisher from Harbor Freight. I believe it's a 6-inch. And again, in another day when I go a little more in depth on like tools and stuff that I use, we'll kind of talk about why I bought that one, why I switched to something different, and it's still something that I use. You know, it's not just up there because up there I just needed to get it out of the way for the time being, but it is something that I still use, and so we'll explain that down the road in another video. So anyways, as far as auto detailing stuff goes and whatnot, that's pretty much what I have right now for that. Again, as auto detailing goes, that's pretty much what you need. I mean, you don't need anything super pressing, and if you're not doing like polishing and paint correction and whatnot, you don't even need that stuff to get it started. You know, get yourself a pressure washer, get yourself a vacuum cleaner, some brushes definitely help. You know, like those brushes right there are, they're alright. You know, I'd recommend getting some decent ones with like horsehair and whatnot. They work a little bit better. Get yourself a decent foam cannon, nothing crazy. I started with one from Walmart and another one I had from Amazon, and now I'm using one from Max Shine. Nothing super expensive, and it does the job. It works great. Drill brushes also really come in handy. So, you know, get yourself some drill brushes and a decent drill. And I say decent drill for a reason. That's my work drill, DeWalt. Don't use that one. But here are my impacts. So I've got a rigid impact set, and then I also have a rigid drill with 2 batteries, and I'll take the charger with me as well if I'm doing an interior deep cleaning or whatnot. So, and we get down into some vehicles. I'll tell you that right now. Like I get down and dirty into some cars, and I want to try to make them as new looking as I possibly can. You know, I'm not a miracle worker or magic worker, but when somebody brings me a really dirty vehicle, when they come back to me, I want them to look at that car and just drop their jaw and be like, is this the same car? Like, what did you do to this thing? So that's always my goal. Every single customer that comes by to me or I go to, I want them to be extremely happy with my work. No questions asked. That's what I want. So on top of the auto detailing stuff, window tinting, we've got a roll of window tint in there. I haven't tinted anything yet except my house windows. I've done a couple windows in my house, but window tinting is something that I'm working on and working towards, and you know, we'll show you guys that as well when we can get there. So let's go ahead and let's move on to business number 2 that I very recently just started. That's still in the works here and there a little bit, but went out and bought all the equipment for it, and again, looking for some customers, and you won't be disappointed. I'll promise you that. So let's get into business number 2. Alright. For starters, business number 2 kind of somewhat has to do with this air compressor right here. So we've got this 20-gallon McGraw air compressor, 135 PSI max, works great. Yes, it's from Harbor Freight. Yes, it was very reasonably priced, and no, it is not oil free. It does take oil. We'll get into that stuff later. So air compressor. Second off, over here we've got this 50-pound walnut blaster from Harbor Freight, and then right above that we've got a box of walnut shell, fine grit, and coolant bucket, coolant funnels, and somewhere over here we've also got this little adapter plate right here, which I'll show you what it's for here in a bit, and this specific spray nozzle as well for that Harbor Freight gun, and then a little bore camera as well that I can use to see what I'm doing. So what that stuff is all for is for walnut blasting, specifically walnut blasting direct injected vehicle intake valves. Right now I am mainly just doing Subarus, so FA20 DIT. I will be able to do FA24 as well, but right now primarily just FA20 DIT, obviously because that's the vehicle that I have. I've got a 2015 WRX with the FA20F motor in it, which is direct injected. And I will go ahead and put a picture in right there of what dirty valves look like and the reason of why you want to blast them if you have an FA20 is for a reduction in performance. You're going to get a reduction in performance with all that carbon buildup on those valves. And then you're also going to probably see a reduction in mileage as well. And with all that carbon buildup, the reason why you get that carbon buildup is because it's direct injected. So there's nothing going over the intake valves as far as fuel or anything like that to keep them clean. They get really caked up, they get really dirty, and maybe a sticky valve. And if you really don't do it for a long period of time, or have an air oil separator, or your EGR deleted, you could have premature motor failure, and nobody wants to fork out the money for that. So it's not cheap again to replace a motor. So do yourself a favor. Pay for the service, whether it's through myself, whether it's through somebody else. Again, I'm located centrally in Yakima, Washington, and I do offer this service. You can always hit me up on Instagram or Facebook or my website. It's on there too, so is my phone number. You hit me up on there, and we can always get you set up with walnut blasting services. So that is the second thing that I've been working on. And again, I've done my car. I've got a couple more people coming to me to get their cars done. It's not a hard service for myself to do, but if you want to do it, get at it. What's stopping you? Yeah, you're going to have to spend some money on equipment. It's a lot of money to some. Yeah, it might be a little bit of money, but maybe you're a DIYer and you want to do it yourself. So by all means, get at it. But if not, I offer it. So hit me up. Let's get it done. Alright, so those are kind of business updates right there. Something else that I do, nothing super hard, nothing super pressing, but I do actually do vinyl work. Not like wrapping cars or anything. I'd love to get into that, and maybe down the road I will get into that, but just making like custom decals and stuff like that. I got a vinyl cutter, a pretty nice vinyl cutter. So I make custom decals and whatnot, but that's nothing I really push. I honestly kind of just do that for myself, and I'm totally fine with that. But if you're out there and you're seeing this video and you want some custom decals, by all means, hit me up. So, alright, well, that's going to be the update there on the motor, auto detailing, the walnut blasting. So, now, for the fun part, let's go check out the cars and give you guys a little bit of update on the cars and my life and why I've kind of been so freaking busy lately. Let's go outside and take a look at that.